You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. The Philadelphia Eagles lost the Super Bowl because they suck. And the Philadelphia Eagles will always suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all? I'm going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the absolute world to me. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, as I usually try to do. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer, but I'm going to try to go at least 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away. Throw away in the chat box. I check on the chat box like every 5-10 minutes or so. So if something does get put in there, I try to respond as soon as I can, as soon as I see it. So if you got anything to say, just please feel free. Fire away. Throw in the chat box. Plus, it's nice to talk to somebody. Out of me just rambling on and on and on. It's nice to have a little conversation with somebody. So please feel free. Fire away. Before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, a top link right in the very top of the description box is a link. It takes you to my membership page. Okay, I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second one is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. Okay, so if you want to help support my channel out, it would really, really mean so much to me. Then, if you subscribe to my channel, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed to my channel, just go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, huh? Right now, I'm up to 6,758 subscribers. Absolutely fantastic. So if you are subscribed, thank you. And if you're not, just go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, next time I put out a video or I go live like I am right now, you'll be notified, right? And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links, okay? The top one takes you to my Facebook group, all right? We have over 2,600 members in there. Okay, I put stuff in there every day. It's like a 7-day a week. It's not a job because the job, I guess it's J-O-B, but this is something, I enjoy doing. Obviously I do it for nothing. But it's 7 days a week. I put stuff in there every day. Okay, as I said. And if you become a member of the group, not only do I put stuff in there, but people put stuff in there as well, too. So there's a ton of New York Giants information going into the group every day. Then the second Facebook link, okay, takes you to my Facebook page. All right. I'm the administrator on the page, so I'm the only one to post anything in there. But it's the same thing. I put a ton of stuff in there every day. Right now we have 749 people who like the page and over 3,400 people who follow the page. Okay. I said it's the same thing. Every day, 7 days a week, I put stuff in the page and I put stuff in the group. Okay. So if you go to down below, if you click on the page and you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and you click on it and you become a member, between the 2, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. And if you're not satisfied, as I always say, you get your money back guaranteed. Now, with all that stuff said and done, well, the Giants got, we got, obviously Daniel Jones, right, wrapped up. I mean, for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, however you want to look at it. I mean, they can get out technically after 2, right? It could be a 3-year deal, right? And if you look at it, it's like 3 years. I believe it's 3 years. It's like $112.5 million, 113 or somewhere along those lines. So it works its way out to about like $37.5 million a year, somewhere around there. But so they got him locked up. Saquon, the nice thing about him, he's on the franchise tag now. We'll have to wind up waiting and seeing. Hope I don't see him holding out, but you never know. But I mean, they're trying to obviously work on something long term or longer term, I guess. They're not looking at like 6 or 7 year deal for him, but at least try to sign him for at least a few years anyway, 3-4 years, right? I mean, obviously, some make it off like a 4-year deal. Same kind of thing. Get out after 2 years, maybe 3 years at the most if he gets injured or something happens or whatever, right? So we got the two big guys, okay? So now we're going for number 3. Now the thing is, remember is that, right now it's Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. If you're an old fart like me, you know what that song means or how that song goes, but Monday, right? That's the legal tampering starts Monday. All right. I believe it's like 12 o'clock. I think that's when the tampering can actually start. I think it is. And they can't sign them until 4 o'clock. So I guess it's noon Monday. They've already, they met and they've already done some tampering like at the combine, because there were agents there, there were GMs there from all the teams and everything, right? So there was already tampering going on, okay? But that was illegal tampering, but nobody's going to say anything, right? But the legal tampering is when you can actually, without getting in trouble, I guess, pick the phone up and start calling or, talking to free agents. Is I believe it's like noon on Monday, okay? So I mean, that's when the SHIT is going to start hitting the fan. I mean, that's when things are going to start happening. Okay, you're going to have your top tier guys, right? They're going to start going. Okay, but then they can't technically sign them until the new NFL year, which would be 4 o'clock on Wednesday. Okay. So the Giants have until, if Julian Love, we're talking Julian Love now, he's like, it's kind of like number 3 on the pecking order here. The Giants, want to get him signed, and where nobody else can really do any kind of tampering or whatever, they got time's running out. They got 36 hours or so. So, 36, 37 hours. They don't have a long time. The thing is, okay, is that, they have money. Okay. It's all going to work out to the dollar amount. Okay. Now I get this article here from Giants Wire. Okay. Now, obviously Julian Love's been talking about, wanting to be with the Giants. The Giants have obviously, held conversations with him, trying to get him. So that, each side wants each other, but it's all going to come down to the dollars and cents. And it'll only take one team to kind of blow things out of the water. Okay. Offer like Julian Love, like maybe $10 million a year or something like that. And he's gone, that's all it takes. But with Giants Wire, okay, so New York Giants managed to handle their 2 biggest personal issues, signing Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, right? Although General Manager Joe Schoen intends to continue negotiations with Barkley on a long-term deal or longer, a few-year deal, right? Locking those 2 up allows them the freedom to begin working on other in-house free agents, okay? Now, the thing is, they got so many other guys, okay, that, every team has got it too. But, the Giants have a laundry list of guys that they had free agents, It's going to be tough to try to, lock them all up, even if they had the money, right? And, and also that you don't know which ones they want to bring back. Do they want to bring Richie James back? Or Sterling Shepard's always injured, but he sure is great to have on the team. Do they want to bring him back? But so now at the top of the remaining list is safety Julian Love, who the team is actively engaged with. Okay, so that's good. Julian Love, okay, said things have ramped up. Love said during Friday appearance on Sirius XM. They've constantly expressed interest. Since the end of the season, they've reiterated the interest to bring me back. I reiterated that I want to be back. Hopefully, if we can meet on the price. So, but Love won't come cheap. Like Jones before him, he's not going to offer any sort of hometown discount and intends to do what's best for himself and his family, which is, understandable, right? It says here, Love has been projected to earn anywhere from $7.5 to $8.4 million annually on a new deal. But an increasingly bloated safety market may drive that price down a bit, which would be good for the Giants. Okay. Right. Now, as I said, obviously you don't know what he's trying, what he has in mind. Okay. He says, I'm human. Money is a huge part of the equation. But it's not the end all be all. It's a huge point. But the feel has to be right. If you don't believe in the organization and their ability to grow going forward, that says it all. There has to be balance. So, so there is that part with him with the Giants. Giants drafted him, obviously, okay. He wasn't drafted by Shane or Dable. He wasn't drafted by Judge. Okay. He was drafted, by Pat Shermer. Like that. This is, we're going back. Okay, we're going back 2 regimes, right? It's what Oshane Ximines, Slayton, Julian Love, right? So some of these guys that were drafted by Shermer, okay, are starting to, obviously go. So there's no, so there's no tie there at all with Shane or Dable, but they want him to be back. And obviously for him to say he wants to be back is huge. Okay. Once again, it's not like Carolina offered me 10, but I'll take 7.5 to stay with the Giants. It's not going to be that. Obviously it's a huge part. There's got to be, maybe if Carolina offers him 8 and the Giants offer him 7.5 or 7.75, that might be okay. But money's money. All right. And he realizes this is his one big chance. Okay. This is one big deal. Now, obviously, they don't have any, very rarely you see a 5-6 year deal or something like that. Usually a lot of it's just like 3-4 years, but this is his one big payday because you figure, what the heck we got here? Oh. Here we go. All right. Julian Love. He's 25. All right. So, he's soon to be 25. So you figure if he signs, say, a 4-year deal, okay, he'll be 29. So, if they sign a 4-year deal, sometimes they let him go after 3 years or something like that or whatever. Okay. So, he could wind up getting another deal, okay, being like 28 or 29, okay, which would be certainly still south of 30, okay, which would be huge. But there's always that possibility of maybe something happening as far as injured. Now, obviously you don't wish any injuries on anybody, but say he winds up, whatever, tearing an ACL or something, and something else happens. Now he has a couple of injuries. Obviously now, after whoever he signs with, right, he goes with him for 3 or 4 years, he gets let go, whatever, but if he gets injured a couple of times, he'll get another contract with somebody, but it's, obviously it's not going to be anything, being close to 30, being injured a couple of times, missing a bunch of games over his one contract and that, it's going to hurt his earnings. So this right now, okay, he played all last season, did a very, very adequate job. Is he a top of the line safety or what? No, but without question, he's somebody that the way the NFL is going, especially on defense, right? You need guys that can fit multiple roles. That's him. Okay, very smart, very intelligent. Okay, you put him at safety, you can put him anywhere. Now, as I said, is he going to be an all-pro at any one of those spots? Nope, absolutely not. But, can he do an adequate job for you? Oh, yeah. Flexibility there, absolutely. Intelligence, flexibility, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know what you got with him, all right? So, I mean, it would be nice to see the Giants, obviously once again re-sign one of their own. Now, as I said, the thing that makes it difficult is, Shane and Dable did not draft him. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. But just knowing that they're talking to him, okay, is nice, and he wants to come back, obviously, which would be huge too. I mean, it really gets to you. It's like, you keep drafting, you get these guys for 3-4 years, whatever, and then the Giants just let them go. They just never resign. It's, one of the things is one of the biggest problems also is because, you're changing coaches. We had Coughlin. Okay. All right. So after Coughlin, right, 2 years, we let him go. Now, it wasn't even 2 full years. We let McAdoo go. Right. Then you had Shermer for 2 years. Then you had Judge for 2 years. Now you got Dable for a year. I mean, the problem is every time, you want to letting a coach go and you bring somebody else new in, they have no ties to these guys. This is, now they're the captain of the Titanic, right? Whoever these the coaches are, right? And they're like, well, if I'm going down with this ship, okay, it's going to be with my guys. It's going to be with my coaching staff, my guys. If I screw it up, it's with the guys that I picked that I want on the team, okay? These are guys that got drafted from the old regime. I mean, I don't want any of them. So it's kind of tough. So, I mean, it's kind of tough to keep a lot of the guys around, but just knowing that, they were talking, that winds up being huge. Now the Giants, have, it's just not Giants, it's everybody. But I mean, you got Sterling Shepard, okay. Nick, I believe they had some talks with Nick Gates and Feliciano, okay. Jelly Ellis, I don't think you can kind of Nick Williams. I mean, with Justin Ellis, he's 32. He'll be 33 next year. Nick Williams, he'll be 33 heading in the next season. I mean, those are the guys we had. I mean, they were not much of as far as productive backup, shall we say? Okay. Matt Breida. We got Casey Kreider, Jihad Ward, which obviously Wink loves Hottie. So we'll have to see. Hopefully they can bring him back. I mean, he only made a little over $1 million. Tony Jefferson, Jefferson also, being a free agent, just changed. He's not a safety anymore. He changed his position. He's like an inside linebacker now. Right? So I'm not sure, how much. I guess he believes. I guess that's going to help his free agent stock. But and Jamie Gillen, the Scottish Hammer, Richie. We bring Richie James back. I mean, he wasn't very expensive. He could return kicks. He lost the 2 against Seattle, but he did a decent job. Maybe he's not somebody you want to have as your starting wide receiver, but can he come off the bench and do an adequate job, or can he fill in if some of you guys are injured? Yeah, absolutely. And for a little over $1 million, right? Fabian Moreau, I'm kind of bummed out. Obviously it doesn't mean that we're not bringing him back, but yeah. Is he a number 1 cornerback? Absolutely not. No. But, he made a little over $1 million last year. I mean, decent depth. Right? And let's not forget, the Giants hopefully are going to get Aaron Robinson, if we can ever get him on the field healthy. And we might wind up drafting a cornerback. Okay. We got Adoree Jackson for 1 more year, right? If we don't re-sign Adoree, we're going to need cornerbacks. So, I'd hate to see Fabian Moreau go. Marcus Johnson, Oshane Ximines, obviously, who was drafted by Shermer. I remember Shermer famously picking the phone up and talking to him, said, "Hey, X-Man, want to be a Giant?" Julian Love and Darius Slayton. So, they got some guys to sign, but unfortunately, they're starting to run out of time because, Monday's rolling around. Things are going to start happening fast. The thing is, a lot of it winds up going first. Seems like the big guys maybe start going first. And then as time goes by, some of these smaller price guys start going, right? But things are going to start hitting. I mean, you're going to start hearing, Monday afternoon, so-and-so agrees to a deal, 4 years, X amount of dollars with the Browns. So-and-so agrees to a 3-year, $32 million deal with with the Steelers or something. Things are going to start happening. So the Giants are running out of time, but just knowing that they're talking to Julian Love, okay, is good. Okay. I mean, it would be nice to, we got Xavier McKinney. Okay. Bring back Julian Love. At least we know we have our two safeties. Okay. I mean, we got our 2 tackles. We got 2 edge rushers, right? We got certain guys at certain spots. Okay. It would be nice to bring back, obviously, Dane Belton too, right? You can certainly draft the safety if we don't want to bring him back. I mean, obviously that would be the cheapest way to go. As I said, bring Belton back. Obviously we got Belton, but I have McKinney, and then maybe draft somebody, But I mean, they could also bring in a free agent too, bring in somebody who winds up being cheaper than Julian Love. So, but I mean, I would like to see him bring Julian Love back. But once again, just the way it is it's the nature of the beast. That's the NFL. You can't bring back everybody. So, way it is. Now, there's also, I've seen there's some guys out there, the inside linebackers, Now, obviously, Tremaine Edmonds. Now he's the big guy. Now, also, it's kind of like, the Giants going to have to do something, Whether it's drafting somebody or bringing a free agent, they're going to have to bring in somebody. The one of the problems is like some of the packages that Wink has, like we're going to go out of our way and draft an inside linebacker, say one of the, there's not a ton of talent there at the inside linebacker position in the draft. But the thing is, if say we're going to, one of the top guys are there in the first round, or say that maybe one falls to us in the second round, and you want to spend a first or second round pick, on a guy that might only be on the field 30% of the time. You got to go to Wink and say, look, if we go out, just saying, we go after Tremaine Edmonds. Now, this PFF has him here 4 years, $18.75 million. That's quite a bit per year. I mean, he's going to cost you 15 to 20, right? You're going to go to Wink. Do we want to go after Tremaine Edmonds? I mean, guy's good, right? Guy's good. But if he's only going to be on the field 40% of the time, do we want to spend is that a wise way to spend our money? I don't think so. Okay, so I mean, that's one of the problems as far as bringing somebody like him in. Okay, but there's a bunch of guys. I mean, David Long. I mean, 4 years. I mean, PFF. This is a PFF. But they have him in. Actually, Lavonte David from Tampa Bay. Okay, he graded out real. I mean, the inside linebacker last year, PFF wise, he graded out number 3 overall. But I mean, you look at him. Okay, how old is he? Okay, but he's 33. All right, so that's a problem. But according to PFF, last year he was the 3rd highest graded inside linebacker, and in 2020 he was the 4th highest. Okay, so he graded out very well. But once again, he's 33. Okay, it's the same thing with Bobby Wagner. He's 32, soon to be 33. He graded out. He was number 1 last year, with Seattle. Now, he's supposed to, according to PFF, this is PFF. I don't know. It seems a little cheap for him. 1 year, $6.5 million. But he's going to be 33. But I mean, he's playing at a high clip. Okay, now he's just a torch holder. He's not somebody you're going to want to, having him on, and maybe even re-sign the guy. I mean, David Long, I'm saying, with Tennessee. Okay, they got him 4 years. The PFF, once again, has him projected at 4 years, $10 million. He's only 26. So by the time he he's done with the contract, or he'll still just be 30 years old. he's somebody you can have for maybe a few years. And you might even maybe think about re-signing him. Okay. Now, the thing is the Giants, it's like the Giants, they can go after what they did last year, okay, because they didn't have any money. They signed Glowinski, a $6 million a year man. So the Giants can go out and get themselves a couple Glowinskis this year, or they can go after like one little juicy guy. Okay, it'd be interesting to see what the Giants do, how Shane wants to wind up spending his money. Okay, so there's Bobby Wagner, who certainly would be worth the money, obviously, without question. But I said by the season starts, he's going to be 33. He's just a stopgap, okay? There is TJ Edwards, okay, from the Eagles, who had a very, very good – I mean, he's done – past few years, he's done relatively well, okay? They have him at 3 years, $12 million. That's something the Giants could certainly afford, without question. He's 26 and a half years old. So by the time the season starts next year, he'll still be 27, okay? Bobby Okereke from the Colts. They got him at 4 years, $9.25 million. Okay. He's 26. He'll be 27 when next season starts. Van Der Esch, I'd kind of stay away from him because he's had some injuries, problems. One of them, I believe, is his neck. So he seems to get hurt quite a bit. So last year was a shoulder injury, knocked him out for a stretch last year. I mean, he always seems to wind up getting hurt. Jermaine Pratt, okay, from the Bengals. They got him at 3 years, $8.25 million, according to PFF. And he graded out very well. Okay. He's only 26. He'll be 27. Drew Tranquill from the Chargers. He's 27. Okay. Alex Singleton. He's 29. Right. Kazir White. Okay. From the, once again, another one from the Eagles. Okay, he's 20. He'll be 27 soon. You know, so there's a bunch of guys out there. There are a bunch of guys out there. Eric Kendricks, okay, but he's old. He's 31. Okay, he's played at a high clip. You know, nice clip for quite a few years. Okay, but he is 31. Once again, somebody like that, he's just a kind of a stopgap. It's not, you know. Obviously, if you draft somebody in the first or second round, you got them for 4 or 5 years, right? If you sign somebody who's 26 years old, they just finished their rookie contract and now they're out wanting to get paid, right? You know, they're going to be like 26 years old or so. That's somebody you can, you know, have for a few years. So I mean, there's certain guys out there, okay, that's certainly well worth the money as far as going out and trying to sign. Absolutely. The thing is that, you know, how do you want to allocate your money? I mean, that's the one problem. Okay. As I said, you know, if you're going to have, you bring in a linebacker. Okay. Well, is this guy a 3-down linebacker? You know, if the answer is no, well, he's not going to be on the field. He might be on the field for, you know, because a lot of these guys, you know, some of them are bigger. Okay, so that they can help in the run. Okay, he might be there for a first down and second down, but he's off the field on third downs. Some of them might be lighter. Okay, so you put him in the nickel package or whatever. So he may not be in there on the rundowns because maybe they're too light, right? So, I mean, it's how do you want to allocate your money? You know, you want to spend a lot of money on somebody who might be on the field. I'm saying like 40% of the snaps. That's kind of tough. It's going to be a tough decision for Shane. That's something without question they're going to have to go to wing. I mean, it's not like the way it was in the 70s. 70s, you can just, you know, you got your 4 defensive linemen, you got your 3 linebackers, your 2 cornerbacks, your 2 safeties, and they come off the field unless they wind up getting hurt. Those are 11 guys on the field. Those are 11 guys on every down. Those are 11 guys will be there at the beginning of the game. Those are 11 guys will be there at the end of the game. Right? The whatever. Purple People Eaters. Right, 70s. You had Eller and Marshall with the ends. You had Page and you had Sutherland. Unless you go back into the 60s and early 70s, you got Larson. Right, they're the 2 tackles. Those are the 4 guys. Those are the 4 defensive guys on the front line. Those are the guys who are in there every down. You know, it's not like that anymore. You know, so you got to go to Wink and say, you know, what's the chances of us drafting somebody in the first round who's an inside linebacker who's going to spend a lot of time on the field? maybe that guy from Simpson, I believe it is from Clemson. Small, fast, maybe he can cover. He might be on the field a bunch. He might be worth taking a shot at. But, I mean, as far as somebody like Micah McFadden, the thing is with him, he's good and all and everything, but he's maybe a little bit of a liability in coverage. He's maybe good at plugging holes and coming and staying in the box and coming downhill and being a thumper on runs. But when you're passing the ball, is he a liability in coverage? So that's the inside linebacker is very, very tricky. That's why it doesn't hurt to have too many safeties or too many cornerbacks. Doesn't hurt. Okay. Then we go to edge rushers. Okay. Now the thing is with the edge rusher, I mean, there's some guys out here. Okay. Obviously, you see these reports. The Giants are linked to Marcus Davenport. Okay, which would be fantastic, right? They have him. He's only 26 and a half years old. Okay, from the Saints. Okay, they got 1 year average, 1 year. I'm not sure why, just a 1 year deal, but $12 million. That's something the Giants could afford. Okay, but he'd be an edge rusher. But I mean, the Giants, could certainly use help at the edge rush. I mean, Azeez, can he stay healthy? Thibodeau, he got injured too. He was injured, right? So I mean, you can. And one other thing is you can never ever have too many edge rushers, right? And there's Jadeveon Clowney. Seems like every year this guy's looking for a different team. He's still only 30. Okay. Omenihu, Charles Omenihu, but he had some type of domestic violence. He hit his girlfriend or his wife or something like that. It was like the day before the championship game or something. I'm not sure if that's somebody you want to be bringing into your organization. I'm not so sure about that. Charles Omenihu from the 49ers. I think I would have to pass on him. There's Arden Key, from Jacksonville, 2-year deal, $9.25 million as an edge rusher, right? 26. He'll be 27 soon. Samson Ebicom. He's another guy from the 49ers. Okay. Okoronkwo from Houston. He's 27, soon to be 28. Ngakoue, seems like every year. And Yannick Ngakoue must sign like 1 year deals. He really didn't grade out very well the past few years. So Leonard Floyd, okay, seems like he's 30. All right. Brandon Graham from the Eagles, he's looking for a new team, but he's 35. Melvin Ingram, he's 34. Justin Houston, he's 34. Frank Clark, who the Chiefs let go, he'll be 30 soon. Kyle Van Noy, he'll be 33. So there's a bunch of guys out there. There's a bunch of guys. Lorenzo Carter, right? They signed 1 year deal with the Falcons last year. Apparently they let him go. He's 27. He didn't have too bad of a year last year. Carter signed a 1 year, $3.5 million deal with the Falcons after an injury rookie year. Former third-round logged a career-high 909 snaps last year. He racked up 39 tackles with 28 defense stops and over his career. Occasional coverage snap. So, I mean, and he didn't do too bad last year. So, I mean, I don't know if the Giants would, obviously bring back Lorenzo Carter. I mean, let's not forget his last season with the Giants. I think he had 5 sacks, and he missed the whole. I mean, he was injured a lot, but then when he came back, he had 5 sacks, I believe, in his final 4 games of his career with the Giants, and then they just never wanted to re-sign him. And he only signed for $3.5 million. Well, because the Giants didn't have any salary cap money, but he's somebody the Giants can bring back. So there's certainly guys back there. The Giants, and the Giants also could draft somebody as well too. Maybe somehow by some act of God, if we can actually get Ellison Smith to stay healthy, right? I said, I'm not so sure if the Giants are, anything about Oshane Ximines, they're going to be bringing him back at all. Who knows? But there are guys out there. I mean, there's definitely guys out there for the Giants to sign. As I said, once again, we have 11 draft picks too. They can add a little bit of depth in the draft. The thing is the question is that, You got Azeez Ojulari and you got Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, after that, we got, you got Hottie, Ward, Tolman, Fox. I mean, Ellison Smith, but it's a drop-off. It's a drop-off, okay? So if Azeez is injured, which he was a lot last year, or if somebody needs a breather or something like that, you got to drop off in talent. It's the same thing with the defensive front. If Leonard Williams is injured or needs a breather, or Sexy Dexy is tired, he needs a breather or something like that, they come off the field, or one of them comes off the field, you got to drop in talent. So the Giants, without question, their edge rushers. I mean, we got a lot of holes to be filled, right? They need some depth, some good depth. I mean, the Giants have DJ Davidson coming back from his injury. Okay, so he'll add some depth. I mean, look for the Giants to draft an inside, interior defensive lineman somewhere along the line to add some depth. But there's a drop off in talent. That's someplace the Giants can maybe look to go to. I mean, I said maybe getting an edge rusher, middle of the road edge rusher in free agency, or middle of the road interior defensive lineman, just to add some quality depth. Because I said, because this is a drop off. I mean, the guys in the box, okay, the interior, the middle linebackers, right, however you want to call it, okay. I mean, there's weak, period. The starter's weak, okay. I said, and then you got Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. The front four is very good, but if any of them get injured or have to come off for a breather or something like this, you don't want Dexter Lawrence logging 75, 80% of the defensive snaps like he did last year. Same thing with Leonard Williams. There's just too many snaps for him, right? I mean, once those guys come off the field, the guys replacing them are just, the talent-wise, just comes way down. Same thing with the edge rushers, right? So Giants got a lot. They got a lot of holes to fill, right? They got, that's why I would like to see him, maybe not use all their 11 picks, maybe couple one or two of them together to move up in one of the rounds to snatch somebody who's decent, right? I would like to see that, but they didn't do that last year, but we'll see. Maybe they'll do that this year, but the Giants got their work cut out for them too. So tomorrow I'm going to come back. I'll have a video and I'll wind up wrapping it up before free agency, and we'll look over whatever cornerbacks or safeties are out there, except for Julian Love. Well, guys, it's been 37 minutes. Anybody spent any time watching this? Thank you. Means so much to me. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Or if anybody spends any time watching a replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.